also from Kenya. We saw a shot earlier. Now we've got the lead men that they're going to show the numbers. Numbers on the left and the names. 3 Kenyans at the top. Last year's champion Bernard Kimeli, Rhonex Kipruto, the young, newly crowned World Junior Champion. Several athletes from Japan, several athletes homegrown from the Czech Republic. This should be a pretty amazing race up front.
Well, there are, 10 men who have broken 28 minutes in the past, either on the track or on the road. So the quality is there. There's some of the elite women, Dorcas and Caroline.
Yeah. So we'll identify the runners once they get going for you. Here are the lead women. Fancy Kemutai is the favorite F1. Caroline Kipkurui is F2. Dorcas, who we just saw, Twikok, is F3. Sarah van der Wielen Lahti from Sweden, an Olympian. Yuka Takashi from Japan. One particular, probably the most popular runner here is F8, Eva Vrabkova, who just very successfully got a bronze medal at the European Championships in Berlin. I don't know if her legs have recovered from that because it wasn't so long ago, but wonderful athlete and but extremely popular here in all the run check races.
Formerly as a cross-country skier, she competed in 3 Olympics in skiing.
2,500 already went. We're getting ready now. Probably a minute away, I think. Hands on the watch, ready to go, even though we have clocks on the course. Rhonex Phoenix there, the guy with Rhonex on the front, is the newly crowned World Junior Champion. Very young, but amazingly fast this year.
Only 18 years old.
Right by the race director, Václav Studenek, there is last year's champion, Bernard Kimeli, who's in even better shape than last year. There's our Lady Mare.
There she is. And he won the half marathon this year. So he's had good success here in the Czech Republic.
Until our race director moves and tells them get ready, then we won't be doing it. He's out the way now. Lady Mare will fire the gun. And away we go. Smetna's tune, famous Moldau, Vltava, all about the river here. And, very stirring, and it's played at all of the run check races. There are 7 run check races that have got IAAF gold labels, which is quite amazing. Nobody else has that in the world. And all high quality productions, beautifully presented, good loyal sponsors.
Beautiful sight. Lots of people running.
That municipal house is just a gorgeous building with that Art Nouveau, and I know you spent some time in there in the coffee shops, Jim.
They're beautiful. They really are. I'm so impressed. Well, Prague has a history of Art Nouveau, not only architecture, but in painting and other arts. There it is. And there's the powder tower next to it, although you can't see the top of it.
You see the famous gate, though, that does lead through the old town into the Charles Bridge and all the way then up the hill to the castle. You see how long it takes to move 8,000 people, 8,500 people through. These people, you see on the back of the pacemakers there, the times. These are the time gaps from when the gun went off to about when they'll start. They are timed electronically by tags on their shoes or on their numbers, depends which system they use. But so it doesn't matter when the race actually starts. The front people start with the gun, and then the rest of the people get their time as they cross the starting mat and get their time at the end when they finish. See the clock going. It's taken 2 minutes so far, and we've probably got, I don't know, 3,000 or so people gone through, and it'll probably be another couple of minutes before we get everybody through.
I saw Dr. Pirk, the famous cardiologist, out there running. He's well into his 60s, still runs very, very well. But he believes in it, says it's good for the heart. Not so good for the knees, maybe, but good for the heart.
Well, you got to do something, Jim. Stay fit, and of course the famous slogan with all the run check races, we were discussing that today in a meeting, is all runners are beautiful. It's a trademarked name and slogan that they've developed, and they really love their runners here. You can see this wonderful shot now of the tunnel, and they're heading towards that, and then obviously turn right, don't go through the tunnel, and they'll head up the north side of the river.
Most of the race is on that side, from about 1K to
9K, yeah. And the last, so the first just short of a kilometer is north-south, going north, and coming back at the finish, is the last 900 meters is a straight shot south. So fairly simple course, and now we're going to start seeing the leaders. So the pacers, the two pacers going to take the men out. Pace one is Bernard Lagat. He's trying to go to 7 kilometers, and pace M2 is Robert Koech. He's going to go to 4K, so his responsibility is to get it going. So we're looking at 4 minutes into the race already, so we're past 1K. These will be the lead women now. Paces are in the orange. There's two paces, Gilbert Kipkoech and John Lotiang.
great mass of humanity moving along. Although, you know, this is 8,500 people, it's huge. Compared with the big marathons around the world, it's a fairly small race.
Well, there's only so long that you can close the streets and close the tram lines down and everything like that in a city like this.
Well, and the streets are old and narrow in many places, so you don't have the wide boulevards you might have in a Dubai or Iraq or somewhere.
Well, I'm always amazed that, and you're an expert on this, Jim, as you live here, that they run so fast here on this course. The history of this course is amazing at this Prague Grand Prix 10K. But look at this street now, cobblestones and tram tracks, and they still run fast.
Yeah, people complain about the cobblestones, but it doesn't keep them from racing. I mean, 4 of the 5 fastest women half-marathoners in history, or 10K runners in history, rather, have run here in Prague. And you look at the marathon times, the 10K times, the half-marathon times in Prague, they're all on the all-time list.
Because we had 2,500 women run earlier, the percentages of people in this 8,500 10-kilometer race is 65% men and 35% women, but obviously balanced out with the women who already took part earlier in the 5-kilometer race. But and the average age is in the late 30s, so it's an active community, an active city.
Yeah, there's a lot of biking here. Out where we live, the bikes are going by on the weekends especially. There's a lot of running, a lot of skiing in the winter. It is an active community.
Now there's our lead women, and that looks very quick to me. I mean, if they're going to break 30 minutes, that's 3 minutes per kilometer. See Fancy there with Fancy Kemutai. Got the two paces there, Gilbert Kipkoech and John Lotiang. Catherine Kipkarui is right there behind now.
Yeah, she's just there, Caroline.
And I think, I'm trying to see, yeah, there's one other there. It's Dorcas, the young runner, is just there as well. There's 3, and one of the Japanese runners looks like he's there too. And the men moving right along behind the pacemakers.
There's a couple of the Japanese runners about to be caught by the women. Luke Traynor as well.
From Great Britain, he was here earlier and ran in the new concept of European heroes. I think that was in České
Budějovice, yeah. We had that in Karlovy Vary and in České Budějovice, and he won in České Budějovice. But, you know, he and Ross were talking about something in the range of 28 minutes or 28:30 yesterday. So if he's going at that pace, and I don't know that he is, then certainly Fancy is going for, and Caroline and Dorcas are going for broke.
Well, they all seem very motivated and very relaxed. And when you talked, and I was kidding with Caroline Kipruto just after lunch today that I don't think she realized what the bonus was if you could run super fast here. And I explained to her what it was and that she could share it with me if she liked. And then she started laughing a lot.
And you notice those run check racing singlets on the pacemakers, and a couple of the lead runners, Bernard and Rhonex and Matthew, are alumni of Run Check Racing.
Yeah, it's like a training team for making the big time and getting fully sponsored by, in this case, Adidas. And the Run Check team has been a very successful sort of farm team system of producing young runners, and they work closely with one of the managers, Davor Savija, and he's very good at finding the young talent and helping bring it through.
Well, I'd say that all three of those top runners there, Rhonex, Bernard, and Matthew, certainly are, there you see all the Kenyans right in front, and they're all
past
there.
winners. Yeah, these are all the history of the race and the past winners, nearly all Kenyans for the last 7-8 years.
But Bernard, Matthew, and Rhonex are all products of that program.
Again, across cobbles, and now is the lead women again. 3 women there.
I'm surprised that they're staying that close together.
There's a history of the women's race, and you can see the women's world record that was set last year. Fancy looks very relaxed with the 2 paces.
Caroline looks very aggressive, to tell you the truth.
Well, she ran very well earlier, got second in the half marathon here, so they do like to return here because they're well treated by the whole of the Run Check team.
I think that's one of the keys that we have here, is that the hospitality is good. The hotel here in Prague, at least, is very good. And we do try to teach to keep them happy.
The guy at just at the back of the left of the women's group is Vit Pavlista, who's a 29:57 10K guy. So they're running. If he's running at his best, then they're running right at that 30-minute mark, which is what they want to try and do today. So we'd be very happy with that, wouldn't we?
I think so. I think anything around 30 minutes or a little bit under would be super. To attack the world record, of course, is another matter. You need everything to go right for something like that.
Just look at the turnover, leg turnover of these guys. And, so there's last year's winner, just sitting in like 4th place, Bernard Kimeli. Jeffrey Koech is by the side of him. I know it's difficult when they're all wearing the same orange vests. You have to look at the names on the front. Rhonex, there is Rhonex Kipruto, the World Junior Champion, just 18 years old. And
amazing young athlete. I think it's important to note that these guys are young, that they haven't become jaded yet, and they're hungry. They're anxious to get out there and prove themselves.
Well, this is quick because this group has broken away already. Some guys trying to hang on there at the back.
I think we lost one of the pacemakers already.
No, he's tucked in there, I think.
Well, maybe.
No, you're right. He's gone already. So we should be getting close to 5K shortly. So we'll get some idea of what sort of pace they're on. 13:30 would obviously be 27-minute pace, and it would be. That might be 5K mark just there. I don't know.
13 flat there, but
that's too fast.
Yeah.
So that wasn't the 5K mark. I just saw the banner.
Trying to tell if Caroline's leading there or. It's a nice group, though. This could bode well.
That's it, 13:36. I imagine that matters. There was the timing for the 5K. It's 13:36, which is 27:12. Yeah, 13:36. So they're a little bit slower than they'd want to be. So that seems to have inspired when he saw that time.
The pacemaker picked it up, didn't he?
Yeah. Bernard Lagat there, the pace one. There's the world record by Leonard Coleman from Utrecht, 26:44.
8 years ago.
And these are the best times that we've had already this year by Rhonex Phoenix, 27:08, and Bernard Camelli from last year, 27:10. So Rhonex seems also motivated by that time that was a little slower than they wanted.
I'm sure they talked to one another. I'm sure they mentioned it to the pacemaker.
I think
a little bouncy on the camera right there.
Carolyn is just ahead of Fancy there.
Right. Well, that's good. That's kind of nice. It's across in front of her. I'm not sure that was so nice, but.
Well, they're following the pacemaker to women at 14:53, which is right 3 seconds off the world record pace and the course record pace from last year. So very good pacemaking there by the men pacers, Gilbert Coach and John Lotier, pulling these two women along at very commendable 14:53 at 5K.
Other than Joycelyn last year in that amazing world record, no women have gone under 30 minutes. So right now you've got two of them trying to do that.
Just hanging off the back of behind the Japanese male runner is Dorcas, who's trying to stay there. Dorcas Kipruto in third place. Now the pace has gone and Rhonex is putting his head down. He looks very relaxed, doesn't he?
He looks good, yeah, he looks great.
Jeffrey Coach there in second place.
Surprise.
He's a 27:44 guy, but he looks nice and relaxed, in good shape. They just passed 6 kilometers.
The men leading group is a small group at the moment.
At the moment, if they run faster the second half, but at the moment they're running more like 27:20 pace. But this may get a lot quicker in the second half. They seem to have left the pacemaker and it's down to business now. This part I love when they pick up the lights and go through the tunnels.
Rhonex is making a significant change in his speed. He's already 50 meters or so free of Bernard and the others. And he's probably got what?
16:18. He's 27:10 pace, but he looks like he's changed gears.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. He looks like he's finishing.
Doesn't even look like there's any strain on his face, does he? Just,
no, and he's not sweating a lot.
If his best is 27:08, he's right at his best performance this year. And, smooth young runner, and he just left Jeffrey Koech in the dust back there, didn't he?
It's his to win or lose at this point.
Well, there's a course record of 27:10, and there's a bonus for €2,000 for beating that, so he's probably got that in mind.
I think he does, and I think he's got it unless he falls apart.
Well, he's got about 9 minutes of running left. And our ladies still the two principals, Fancy Chemtai, and then we've got Caroline and Dorcas. We've got three women together there.
I think Caroline has fallen back a little bit after that surge she put on. Perhaps Fancy is running a more even pace.
Now the women go under the lighted bridge part.
And Fancy has opened.
Yeah, Fancy's got 15 meters there on Caroline. Yeah.
Trying to urge on the crowd to get into it.
Vic Tablista there, just trying to stay away. And one of our Japanese runners. Masaya Taguchi. F1 then is Fancy Chematai. Now we're back to Rhonex Kipruto.
$19.99. He'll be 19 years old next month.
Unbelievable. Well,
he's got a little downhill stretch here as they go down to the Parliament. He's motoring.
It'd be interesting to see if he can go quicker in the second half. He didn't seem to like that 13:36 very much, so see what he does in the second half. It'd be wonderful if he could get under 27 minutes, but
27:12, would not be a bad race for almost anyone anywhere.
But this looks like a much faster turnover from what they were doing in the first half. And just on the right-hand side, Fancy Chematai is just loping along. Makes it look easy.
I'm wondering if she has any sort of a kick. I can't remember her running fast at the end, but
she ran well last year.
30:06, right?
Yeah. So she certainly has the credentials.
Looking for a possible sign of what the mileage is here, what the kilometers are.
Moving over to the right-hand side.
You're just passing the Parliament there.
There was 8K.
Okay, 8K and 21:32, something like that.
So he's right at 20, just a fraction under 27 minutes even at that. So,
and if he's moving faster, that means he could get under 27.
So I think he's got a definite shot at getting under 27, which would be very exciting here. Remember, the world record 26:44, but the course record is 27:10. So you can see those numbers on the screen there. So don't look that way. Just keep going this way.
And no one has run under 27 minutes except for that world record by Kamora. Still looks good. That's kind of the only sort of upgrade that he has in the course. Then he'll turn and cross the bridge again.
Well, he's got less than 4.5 minutes of running left, you know, so it's Pansy Kipruto there. Just look, I mean, she really has a smooth stride. She doesn't look like it's a fast turnover. She just
a very good road runner.
John Lotiang is working harder than she is, I think. The pacer, and Vid Pavlisto, one of the top local runners, is trying to stay with her. Yeah. You get some TV time if you run with the lead woman.
Oops. Did John kind of slow down there?
I don't know where Vid Pavlisto's going. He's all over the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So to get him back on the road, it's a road race.
There comes Rhonex. You see, there is a little uphill coming back from the Parliament to get back to the bridge. But it doesn't look like it's bothering him that much.
Well, sometimes a little change up and down, just a little rolling thing helps to break up the cadence a little bit. But
I agree. You use different muscles, and you know it kind of can give you a little boost. Okay, he should be turning right very shortly now. Well, another 100 meters maybe.
This is working up a little hill here, and then it's a straight shot for what, 900 meters?
Yeah, yeah.
There's his turn. Was his manager running along shouting at him? Divorce Savija. Well, now it's a straight shot, 900 meters, so.
And here comes Fancy.
She's not too far away from that either, from the turn. It's got to be a shock to these top Japanese runners to find that you're running with the lead woman. See the tunnel behind it, he's on the bridge now.
Definitely on the bridge.
Well, he's just dominated this race, hasn't he? Young Rhonex Kipruto, world junior champion on the track, but
almost looked like a smile on his face there.
Well, I haven't seen any strain on him. I mean, I don't know if he's.
No,
it's not even a grimace.
Look at that shot. I mean, he looks magnificent.
So remember the times to look for on the clock. You can see the clock in the corner. Still Jeffrey Koech in second and being chased by, I think that's Abraham Kipyatic right behind him. Rhonex Phoenix then, 26:44 is the world record. 27:10 is the course record.
27:08 is his personal record. But
and I think anybody here,
a couple of those could go.
If he could break 27, it would be phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah, I think everybody would be happy with that.
So we're about a minute away for him to break 27.
Urging him on.
He's finding the smooth part of the road. Now he's got off the cobbles and the train tracks and the tram tracks, and now it's a straight shot in. The vehicle's turning off, and it's just the floodlights now on. The first time I've seen a bit of a strain on his face as he sees the finish line. And
he's working now, but that's great.
Yeah.
Coming around the corner, heading for the blue carpet.
26:44 is the world record. He hasn't got to the carpet yet, so he won't do that.
He's on the carpet,
but he'll just outside the world record. But what a time!
26:46.
2 seconds off the world record. What a performance! Unbelievable.
And he's so young. And these guys are all going to be running 27 minutes, and they weren't even close to him. Jeffrey Rono? No. I'm sorry.
Jeffrey Koech.
Jeffrey Koech. Yeah. I'm used to Jeffrey Rono, who has run here several times. Is that Abraham?
It might be Matthew. I'm not sure. Matthew Camelli. Can't quite see from the angle. hard to tell with these. There's
It
Matthew
is.
Kameli.
It is. You were right. Matthew Kameli,
Again.
another youngster.
Yeah. Here's Abraham Kibiatic.
And the
the
run
pacer.
check.
One of the pacer finishers.
One of the pacers running at 27.
Yeah. I mean, some super times here of guys who are running under 28.
Bernard, the defending champion.
There's our Ethiopian Berta Beliou, who we thought was going to challenge, but still, I mean, what's this, 28 minutes? I don't know how many guys we had there finish already under. I would think we had maybe 10 or 12 guys under 28 minutes.
Yeah, it's
easily.
Once again, those cobblestones and tram tracks really slow you down, you know.
At least 10 guys under 28. And still high caliber athletes finishing there.
And don't be surprised if you start to go back to see where.
Well, we can't be too far away from there. There's our lead woman, Fancy Kemtai.
She's coming up that little rise to the bridge.
I think she's past that area. I think this is
coming off the bridge.
Yeah, coming off the bridge.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. You're right. She's coming off the bridge.
Well, I think I'm seeing Caroline Kipkurui back.
Back with her?
Yeah. Well, they cut away just as we wanted to see that.
Jakob.
Yeah.
Jakob and Jirka. So Jakob won the battle of the Czechs.
Yeah. We'll see that in the awards ceremony now. Let's have a look at this. Go back to these lead women. They just.
There's Caroline.
Caroline, and she's caught and passed both Fancy and Dorcas. And
wow.
So Caroline trying to.
That's a surprise.
Well, they're outside the record from last year.
Yeah.
And they're outside the course record and the world record, but.
I guess
well, there's heads down from behind, Fancy, and these guys are chasing hard. This is going to get very close.
Caroline looks like she's working very hard.
Fancy's got a head down here. This could be interesting. Oh, she got it. Completely pooped, as they said. 1, 2, 3, all inside 30-25. 30-20 to 30-25. Just excellent running. 3 women together. What a performance. I don't think anybody's ever produced that sort of depth before. 30-21 to 30-25, 3 athletes together. Just remarkable performances.
Yeah, this is.
Here comes Dorcas.
Dorcas is 3rd or 4th?
4th, I think. Maybe I miscounted, but we'll see in a minute.
31-0.
Okay, we're going to meet our winner shortly here and have a little chat with Phoenix Rhonex Kipruto. I don't know why I could call him Phoenix, but sounds nice name.
Rhonex, what can you tell me about today's race?
Yes, I'm satisfied because I was the only one pushing it. No one assisted me to push it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's true. No one did push him. No one could stay with him.
It's a good point he made there that, he had to run the second half on his own. Here comes our Olympian from Sweden, Sarah Lahti, Van der Wielen Lahti. So, there's our
30-19, 30-23. Once again, they've rewritten the yearly list for the women's 10K.
And this is just the start of 8,500. These people are still running fast times here.
Very good times, yeah. She probably will be a lot of personal bests tonight with the good weather and the calm conditions.
I'm interested to see the list when we get the lists up of the top 10s, top 20s, and see the depth today, because I think it's very, very good.
Yeah, especially on the men's side. I mean, well, the women too, for that matter. But men have that many men under 28 minutes is extraordinary.
And it will encourage other runners to come here, because they know that now that this is a fast place. Here's Emilia Goretzka from Great Britain. And here's Eva
Vrabcová,
our bronze medalist from the Czech Republic at the recent European Championships. She's not too far. There's Emilia Goretzka, and Eva's not too far outside her best from 33:07 is her personal best, and that's pretty good going so soon after running in just under a month since she ran in the European Championships in Berlin.
She did take some time off after that marathon, and now she's just beginning to get back into it as she prepares to run the New York City Marathon in November. Mora is the second Czech woman.
Interesting. There's Yulia from the Ukraine. Shmantenko. I think 66 different countries are represented here altogether. Moira Stewartova.
Right.
And Moira's a Scottish name, and Stewart somehow got changed to Stewartova and became
I didn't notice that.
I bet there's some Scottish heritage
somewhere there. Must be.
I don't know her, but we'll have to ask her, because that's a real Scottish name, Moira.
And as you said, Stewart. What could be more Scottish than that?
Oh, Stewartova. They just,
yeah. Well.
Maybe she married a Scotsman school.
That would explain it, actually, because that's what happens when you. The women, for the most part, although the modern women are not necessarily following that rule.
Look at that view there, back to the cathedral and the castle and to the Charles Bridge with the lights. Just spectacular. This is a wonderful city in daylight, but it's also just a marvelous city at night. And all the lights and everything, it's just a fabulous place to be.
It's magic in the evening, walking along the Vltava. You will meet hundreds of tourists, thousands of tourists. And they're out there cheering on the runners, which is nice.
This is Radka Hanslova coming in. Big smile on her face. She looks happy.
Probably the third Czech, I'm guessing, but
shortly we'll be going to the awards ceremonies for the top men and top women, and then the top Czech athletes. But some lovely racing today in great conditions. I think I agree with Rhonex. It would have been wonderful if he'd had some competition with him. If the paces had gone 5 seconds faster, we'd have had a world record, I think, through the first half. He got, 2 seconds off the world record. It's amazing. 26:46.
Basically a solo run the last time.
But if you work it out, it means that he ran 13:10 for this last 5K of this race. So he ran 13:36 and 13:10. Now 13:10 is a good 5K time on the track on its own. To run that in the second half of a road race is pretty amazing. So what a talent he is, and what a future he has. Again, these athletes supported and encouraged by the whole of the Run Czech organization, and got a couple of shots of the leader of this Run Czech team, Carlo Capalbo, standing on the finish line encouraging all these athletes. Carlo is also the chair of the IAAF Road Running Commission, and so he's very instrumental in helping develop road running around the world.
And as you mentioned, we saw Rhonex's manager, Devor Sevilla, cheering him on there, and Devor has worked closely to establish this run check racing program.
He's very, very knowledgeable about these athletes and who can do what. Kameli, last year's winner, has just moved to Japan to run for the Fujitsu team over there, and so that's a dramatic change in lifestyle to go and live in Japan, and change in the customs and food and everything like that. So it's quite a dramatic change, but you run on these teams in these Ekiden relays. And now we're getting to the awards ceremony. See our top three guys.
Matthew Kameli.
Third place. Second, Jeffrey Koech.
A bit of a surprise to me was
Yeah.
Koech, I think.
Yeah, it's a good run by
27:18.
well, 30 seconds almost off his personal best. But what a champion, huh? 26:46, a huge personal best. 22 seconds.
It's a huge personal best for anybody in the world except for Kemwa.
Well, I think people you get for a change, the Kenyan national anthem. What a young talent.
Great looking runner.
I think there'll be a few people around the world who take notice of this performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best man of today's race.
Sometimes we wonder about the ages of some of these athletes when they say they're 18 or 19, but he really does look like he's 18, doesn't he?
He looks like a wide-eyed boy. Yeah.
What a talent. So that's a name to remember for the future.
Well, he went
Rhonex
up to
Kipruto.
Tampere in Finland and won that under
the World
junior
Junior.
championship on 10,000. So this is his distance and his future.
Makes you wonder what he's going to do later on when he gets to be an old man of 22 or 23 and see what he can do. Stack him up against the best in the world and the different road races and on the track. So,
He may make people forget about Bekele or someone.
yeah.
If tonight was any indication.
Well, clearly he has a lot more in him than 26:46 because he felt he had to do a lot of the work on his own, which is true from as soon as he saw the halfway time of 13:36. Now here we see 10 people there, all under 28 minutes. That's amazing. That's depth for you.
Thanks to Run Check folks for bringing those people in. You got one
11.
more.
Oh, it was, yeah, I thought I'd counted 11 or 12, so we've got 11 guys. 9 Kenyans, 1 Moroccan, 1 Ethiopian, all under 28 minutes. Quite amazing. And good quality athletes like Ross Millington, running 28:40 something.
Yeah, 28:40.
Yeah. Now we'll see the lead women on the podium. My pal Carolyn Kipruto will have to share some of her money with me now, I think, because I joked with her today at lunchtime. I think she might hold on to it.
Well, Jana was touting her, actually. I really have to admit, I thought Bansi was far and away the favorite.
Well, and she looked like it early on, and then Carolyn had dropped. She came up and then dropped back, and then somehow that casual loping stride we described of Fancy's was not casual loping. She was just slowing up a bit towards the end. And
maybe that was it, yeah.
the pacers were urging them on. You could see the two assigned pacemakers.
They sure were.
Yeah.
Here comes the crowd.
55% humidity and 19 degrees, 18 degrees centigrade, 64, 66 degrees Fahrenheit. It's just ideal for running. You sweat a bit and then come and drink some nice Burrell non-alcoholic beer.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That is what Burrell is, the sponsor of the Burrell Prague Grand Prix.
And there's that famous quote, all runners are beautiful.
Now the finishing straight gets full of people. I asked Vaclav Skrivenek, the race director, said, is this new carpet each race? He said yes, because it gets so dirty with that many runners, get 10, 11,000 runners going across it two ways. It's a lot of footprints, so it gets replaced each race.
Okay, folks, finish it up. You got a good night for a great race.
We rounded up the lead women to do their awards, and then we'll do the Czech awards also. Top Czech athletes. I love this little bit where they go under there, the sort of eerie blue light. It's great.
All you people watching in UK and US and elsewhere, get over here next year and run this.
Oh, it's a wonderful event, and I think the novelty of running in the evening, there aren't that many evening races like this where it's just spectacular running in the lights, and good crowds are here at the finish in Republic Square, Nemesti Republiki.
Well, yeah, and you have the advantage of the 2,500 or so women that finished earlier, cheering their boyfriends, husbands, or others on, along with the tourists that are still here.
Bit of a up this little rise up the hill, and people still finish. There's quite good depth here. We're talking the other day about the depth here, and a lot of men finish under 50 minutes, and a very high percentage of the women finish under 1 hour. So it's pretty good performances. We're at 46 minutes now, and still people look like. Now we're ready for the top Czech runners. I don't know if we might have missed third place there. Vit Pavlista and Lucy Sekanova.
Yeah, she's a steeplechaser. Run under 10 minutes for the steeple.
And we've got Moira and our friend Jurka, who runs all these races. Jurka Homolec. They've gone to the Czech runners because the Rhonex Kipruto were on as a bit of an upset, not feeling a bit sick at the moment. So Lady Mare is going to welcome everybody. Our top Czech athletes, third place.
She's a runner herself,
Yeah.
Recreational runner. Big fan of Seb Coe.
Oh yes. When he was here for the marathon, she thought he was lovely. getting congratulated. And
she knows many of these runners personally.
Jakub Samanic and Eva Vrabkova are Czech champions today.
Jakub is a better track runner than Mirka, so I guess he had the speed at the end.
Well, that's a shame. The ladies get flowers and the men get to wave. Now we get the hardware.
Beautiful Czech or Bohemian crystal that they can use for vase or
something to put the flowers in, and there's the times for the men. Quite close there, Yuri and Jakub, 7 seconds apart.
Right.
They've probably still got away from the lead women just by about 10 seconds, I guess. That's some serious hardware there. Don't drop that.
I think Eva and Mirka certainly have many of those.
Wisely put it down.
The picture with the barrel.
Most important.
Yes, and Matoni, which is the mineral water made in the Czech Republic. One is called nice little bonus of about 10,000 Czech crowns for the winners.
Czech champions today in top threes in the Prague Grand Prix. They're going to have a nice photo now with the Bohemian crystal.
Those are some big pieces of glass.
Well, I hope Carolyn has recovered for the awards ceremony. I think that was a bit of an effort for her to catch Nancy Kemutai and pass her, and big effort right at the end.
Yeah, she looked like that finish stretch seemed to stretch forever.
Oh, I'm sure that last 100 meters looked like about a mile to her. But anyway, great performances today. Wonderful, successful event. Yet again, by the Rhonex team. Congratulations to all the many people who formed this team. It really is a team effort. You have wonderful people who are out from last night and this morning building all this finish, and then they'll be here past midnight till about 2 o'clock in the morning, taking it all down so that the tram tracks can be used again and the city can come back to normal. It is strange, you build all this and it seems to take forever, and then it's all torn down quickly and goes away, and the fencing goes away. I mean, there's acres and acres of fencing and toilets and portable toilets and things like that, and just to get the city back to normal and move all this stuff, it takes a lot of companies that you rent things like fence and toilets from, and a lot of volunteers to help direct everything and take all that banner roll from the advertising on the fencing. All that is taken down as well. So it's It's quite a production. Okay, we've got our lead women finally. Carolyn's recovered. That's good news.
Hopefully. She's got to make that big step up onto the podium. Third place. Diana.
She doesn't look too good either. That's a big step for her. Well, that was Diana Chemtai Kipyogai who got third place. We thought it was Dorcas when the three of them were finishing.
Right. And
It's
that's
Diana who came through and passed Dorcas. Dorcas ended up in fourth place. So
it's a huge PR for her. Her former PR was 33:44. Doesn't look like she's smiling very much. Fancy had a problem as well.
Carolyn, the champion today. It's a medal, the flowers, big smile.
Yeah, she looks much better now. Winning has a way of doing that, I guess.
Yeah, you don't feel the pain quite as much. And we get some Bohemian Crystal also. And I guess that's a great performance from Diana Kipyogai. 30:23.
3 minutes and 21 seconds.
Ooh, she must be ecstatic with that.
Should be. She doesn't look like it, but she should be.
Great performances. Again, we'll see, I think, in a minute, just the depth involved. And
I assume we're going to hear the Kenyan national anthem once again.
oh, that's good.
Yeah, Caroline looks all right.
Yeah,
now.
she looks good now. Close they all were, then three of them coming in together. So congratulations there to our lead women. We'll see the overall results there. Look at that, 3 women all together within 4 seconds and all under 30:19 to 30:23. Dorcas in 4th place, 31:17. Remember, 5 minute per mile pace is 31:04. So these are terrific performances.
Seven women
yeah.
under 32.
Yeah. And it's good depth. Show you some highlights of the day.
Another look at the rest of the 8,500 still streaming in.
Look at all the reflective gear that you see in the lights. It's just a sea of reflective material on the running gear that they use these days. I've never noticed that so much as in a big race like this at night.
See the logos and the trim on these shirts.
And now the finish area completely full of people and still under 1 hour. So here's the highlights from today, Jim. It's Jim Mobley is very ably assisting here. This is Glenn Latimer. We've enjoyed ourselves here in this evening in Prague, live to you from capital city of the Czech Republic on the September the 8th, 2018. And we look forward to joining you the next time we cover one of the very successful run Czech races. Good evening.